Hi everyone, it's Lucy and I am in New York. If you've seen my previous videos, I chatted about going on a big old trip and I'm currently on the big old trip. I'm actually in like the last couple of legs at the moment. It's just New York and then we're going on to one more stop before we come home. But I thought I would try and maybe film a little like thrifting / secondhand shopping video today because we are going to Brooklyn. I can't promise it's going to be extremely informative or like tutorial vibes because it's my first time here. I've never been here before. But I was lucky enough to get a few recommendations from some people on Instagram as well as just kind of like trolling through Reddit, etc. I'm not expecting it to be particularly inexpensive. I think they are going to be more on the kind of consignment, like curated vintage side of things, but I personally don't mind it as long as I like the thing and think the thing is good value. But I thought I would take you with me and we can explore and find things together, hopefully. So this is my outfit for the day. Sorry, I'm like just in my hotel room. If you haven't already seen it, I did a video about putting together a travel capsule wardrobe for this trip, and I have to say it has been working swimmingly. I haven't really had any major issues. I was a little concerned, and I know a lot of people did reach out to me via DM and left a lot of comments saying that I should have brought a coat, and that is a valid concern. However, I am happy to report that so far I have been okay. But these are the jeans that I talked about. These are my little Lee jeans. They have served me very well, and I really love the Everlane tops that I bought, and I have layered, I've got thermals underneath both of them to keep me warm. I'm going to put a little cardi on. This one is one I got off at Depop, which this is probably the item I've worn maybe the least on the trip, just because it's a little bit more like a little bit more extra. I'm looking very blue. I don't feel blue though. This bag as well that I picked up, the Kipling bag, I wasn't really able to give you much insight into it in the video because like I just got it, but I have worn this bag every day for like over a month now and it's great. It's like pretty close to being the perfect travel bag. The only thing is if you want to bring like a water bottle or anything that's just like a little bit bigger, it can't quite fit in here. But in here I can fit my phone, my camera, my power bank, you know, little extra bits and pieces, and the wide strap means that you don't get too sore. I'm very happy with this bag. If you're looking for a travel bag, I would highly recommend this one. Alrighty, let's skedaddle.
So a little bit of a spoiler for the video, but don't worry, there's plenty of shopping to come. This is probably my top recommendation if you could only visit one of the thrift / secondhand stores in the Williamsburg, Brooklyn area that we visited in this video. I didn't end up getting anything from this store, but in terms of like things that interested me and range, in particular, they had the most gorgeous selection of vintage, like true vintage, like 60s, 70s kind of vibe dresses. They were so pretty. Both for myself and my boyfriend Max, we both found lots of things that we thought were really cool. They just didn't work out for one reason or another. And I also thought the price point was like mostly pretty fair because a lot of the stuff was very unique and again, real vintage and mostly in pretty good condition as well. So yeah, definitely more of like a vintage store than like a thrift store. I didn't really capture how big it was. It was like multiple rooms. It was huge. Definitely a fun like afternoon, a treasure trove vibe. Not the apes. Anyway, first off was good. It was huge. I couldn't even really film everything in it to show you, but it's really big, lots of good vintage stuff. We didn't find anything. I did try on a pair of pants, didn't fit. So now we're gonna go grab a little sippy before we continue on. It's really bright. Okay, this one, Seven Wonders Collective, I think this is the Williamsburg branch, but there were a few different ones around New York, like both in Brooklyn and in Manhattan. I think this one had a really nice curation, but just in my personal opinion, I did think this one was a little bit overpriced. Some very cool and funky pieces like I'm showing you here, but pretty much everything was in the multiple hundreds of dollars. And I'm not sure if I think everything should be. Definitely specialty consignment vibes for sure. Okay, so far I haven't had a lot of luck, to be honest. There've been some really cool stores with really cool things, but a lot of really dark vampy kind of colors, or alternatively, the pricing is crazy. Now, that's not to say that it's not worth the price, but it is to say that the Australian dollar is pretty weak against the US dollar at the moment. So we're gonna keep looking. But yeah, the luck hasn't been amazing. Not that there hasn't been good stuff, just not really my kind of thing. So let's have a look. So this store, when I went in, I thought was Buffalo Exchange because it's like right next to Buffalo Exchange, but it's not, it's Monk Vintage. This one was definitely more of a thrift shop slash op shop. Just a lot of stock and things to look through. And a real mix of pieces, I would say. Like there were fully H&M pieces, and then on the same rack there was Diane von Furstenberg. I did find this one a little bit more overwhelming, a little bit more hit and miss compared to the Buffalo Exchange that I visited next door. Oh my god, it's the Buffalo Exchange next door. Like I said, this one was way more organized, but admittedly it was about half the size, half the stock. Probably like a third of the stock actually. They had so much cool stuff at this particular location. And I actually found a couple of tops that I tried on and thought were kind of cute. I was kind of feeling them, kind of vibing, but unfortunately neither of them fit particularly well. They were like almost there, but like not quite, you know what I mean? So I decided to leave them for someone who they would be like perfectly right. Also, I just wanted to mention that the staff were like super nice and friendly. Oh my god, so close yet so far. I found two really cute tops at that Buffalo Exchange. So far I think Buffalo Exchange is my favorite. I liked the curation, it was bright, everything was very well organized, had a good mix of stuff, and the staff were really friendly too. But yeah, neither of them fit particularly well, so alas, but that's okay. At least I know, because I know there's a few Buffalo Exchanges, so I'll probably hit them up. But now I'm gonna go walk somewhere else. Such an informative vlog this is, considering I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm literally just making it up. But aren't we all just making it up in this first go around of life? So I started this video out just intending to do like a little vlog of my day of thrifting, but I've decided to make it a big old like all the shopping I did in New York kind of vid. So I had another kind of like thrifting afternoon, but this one was in Manhattan, so mainly around like the Soho, Lower East Side areas. For all of these thrift stores and places, it's always fun to visit when you go traveling, but I do get jealous of people who it's like their local place, because obviously you get to see the turnover and the new things, and you know, sometimes you just go somewhere and you're like, this has the vibe of what I like, but nothing specifically today. You know, like I feel like this place has good curation, or it has like good kind of pieces and prices. And I feel like I would get really lucky if I came here on another day, but that is the nature of thrifting. I don't know, it just had a nice mix. Like there was a lot of stuff, a lot of sporty stuff if you're into that. In particular, I kept going back to this cherry champion hoodie because I thought it was really cute. I kind of feel like I should have gotten it, but also like I don't need it, you know? But it was really cute. I tried on a couple of things. This jacket, which I thought was pretty cute, but ultimately decided that I probably wouldn't wear in practicality. And then I was keen to try on this pair of Everlane jeans, but unfortunately, as I put it on, I realized that it had like a big rip in the crotch, and I wasn't obsessed with like the fit of them either. And I hit up a few different Buffalo Exchange locations. A real mix of stuff, but again, thrifting, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Nothing more painful than finding something like super cute that you would like, but it's just like in a different size or in a different colorway. But also a question for people who might know better than me, because obviously I am not from the US, but I found that there were quite a few Buffalo Exchanges that shared like similar stock. Like I saw repeats of like the same exact item in different locations. Maybe it's like stock that's getting sold off, or I don't know, something like that. I'm only asking because obviously I went to all of these stores in a relatively short time period, and I just started to notice like the same very specific like niche items, like some more of the outlandish shoes and stuff I saw at multiple locations, which I found a bit weird. I don't know. And I also visited a Second Street, which is a Japanese chain that I visited in Japan, but they have one in New York. Basically the same as it is in Japan. I generally really like the mix at Second Street, and I tried on a few different pieces. I don't know why they were all blue skirts. I was really tempted by this suede wrap skirt from Theory, but I didn't love it on. Like it was pretty, but I'm not sure it was like completely giving. Anyway, so that's a little roundup of the other thrifting I did.
So like I said, I am in New York, doing a lot of sightseeing, visiting a lot of museums, eating a lot of food. But one thing I haven't really been doing is I haven't really gone shopping. And And that's not to say I go shopping a lot at home anyway. I don't know, there's something about shopping when you're like on a trip, when you're on vacation, just feels a little bit different. So I thought it would be really fun if we could have like a little shopping date, you know, you and me. I did get to do a little spot of shopping a few days ago. I went to Ulta and Sephora, so I'll insert those clips now.
I really enjoyed shopping at this Ulta. It was just great. I was mainly focusing on things we don't have access to, like Youthforia. I did swatch the viral blush. It's not really showing up on my hand here, but it was really pretty, but unfortunately it was sold out. And I did keep looking during the week I was there and I couldn't find it anywhere. Peach & Lily is another brand that we don't have in Australia and I feel like is very up my alley. I feel like I remember following them when they were like launching and now they have such a huge product range. We're lucky that we do have most of the brands that you guys in the States have now, but there's still some that we don't get at all or like we don't ever really get to see in person, we can only buy online. So it's like really fun just to like shop and see things in person. Supergoop is another one we don't have. Obviously it's a sunscreen brand, so that kind of makes sense. And I did consider getting one of the little like value like mini sets and I did end up buying a full size of the Glowscreen, which I really like, but I tried the unseen sunscreen and I don't love the finish. It's definitely on the more like matte smoothing side, but I don't super love that for me. Saw a massive Mario Badescu, which we used to have in the retail store that I worked at. I still really like this body wash. I think it's underrated. It smells like grapefruit. It's really good value. Then I saw Sunday Riley, which we do have. But I don't know, my skin just really likes their formulas. I think their stuff is good. So I grabbed some little minis because I was very sorely missing my actives. This brand I'd never heard of. This is Snif. It's like a fragrance brand. I spritzed a bit of this vanilla fragrance and then I walked around and then I went back to spritz some more because I thought it was so yummy. Definitely worth a sniff, haha. And even though we're in Ulta, no drunk elephant shelves are free from the 10-year-olds. I'm kind of kidding, but this is definitely the biggest drunk elephant display I've ever seen. Only slightly ravished, but was kind of like reminding me of some of my old faves. If you're dry, Lala Retro is just chef kiss. And then I was like overwhelmed at how big the e.l.f. range was. Like the e.l.f. gondolas, the NYX gondola was really big too. But both like the skincare and the makeup, it was really popular. There were like lots of people kind of crowding around those sections. And there were a couple of products I was interested in, but it seemed like they were the same ones that everyone else was interested in because they were completely sold out. But yeah, I don't know, this Ulta was great. It was well stocked. I also popped into Sephora to see Tower 28 and a.h.a, I think it is, beauty, but they didn't have stock of any of the things I was after for like my entire time in New York.
So I figure I'm on holiday, there's no rules. Let's do a little like haul slash unboxing of the things I got already. Actually, one of them I already opened because I actually brought the same product on the trip with me. It is the Smashbox Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. This little guy here. I get it in the shade Fair Light, and listen, I just have really visible dark circles. Even if I get a lot of sleep, they're still really visible. There's not a pigment going on in the skin. Any like little veins and kind of discoloration, even if I've had like a beautiful like 10 hours of sleep, doesn't matter. I'm still gonna have a little bit of dark under eyes, and I feel like this is the only product where I feel like it really works to kind of not only brighten but add like a reflecting quality. I won't ramble on about it too much, but yeah, this has been like a holy grail for me. So I was like, let me just get a new one. They had like a coupon promotion going on in Ulta. Like if you spent $50, you got $10 off, and if you spent like $100, you got 20 bucks off. And I had a few things I wanted to kind of pick up, so I figured like, now's the time. Then another thing which we can get at home, but because they had this like deal going on, and normally if I try and buy it back home, I can't get like a discount or anything on it, was this, the Power Couple Mini from Sunday Riley. I love Good Jeans and Luna, the two products that are like in this pack. If you haven't tried it before, I would recommend getting like the little mini set if you're interested, if you're intrigued. I think the formulas are just really good. To be honest, my skin really seems to like them. And then this is a thing I was excited for because we don't have this brand in Australia. This is Peach and Lily. They have a few products, but this is their Glass Skin Discovery Set. And actually, as I'm thinking about it, I should probably crack into this and try some of these now while I'm still in America, so that if I want to get like a full size of any of these, I'd be able to. It has 4 of their products: the Wild Dew Treatment Essence, the Glass Skin Refining Serum, which I've heard a lot about, the Matcha Pudding Antioxidant Cream, which sounds really good. I am a sucker for matcha. And then the Power Calm Hydrating Gel Cleanser. So it's like 4 little like travel size ones, and it was like a value pack. So I picked up those things. I got my little voucher off, feeling good about that. So that's like the shopping I've done so far. I don't think I've done anything else on top of that. I have like swatched a few things, I've sniffed a few things, perfumes, fragrances to clarify. So I am gonna get rugged up because it is a little bit chilly outside and we're just gonna go shopping.
I was super keen to visit an Aritzia only because I had bought some things from there before online and I've gotten a lot of wear out of them, so it was really fun to like browse and try things on in store. I will say the shopping experience was a little bit weird, but I'll get into that. But they did have some very cute stuff. First up was this dress, which I quite liked. I thought it was pretty cute. Then the sales assistant picked out a couple of different pairs of jeans for me, I guess. And they were fine, they didn't really fit. I was mainly just trying on the tops, but you know, they're there. I also did some more shopping around the Soho area. We went to Baggu, and I totally get why all the girlies are obsessed with it. It's very cute, it's very functional. They had a Sanrio collab that I was extremely tempted by. And then I also went to the Real Reels, like, Real store. I don't know, I was just curious to see what their brick and mortar store would be like. And it was just like a store, like you would expect. They had a really cute shoe selection, but they were unfortunately not in my size. And then I also went to Reformation and they had so many pretty things and I was like kind of wanting to try a lot on, but they only had one of each item out on display and you had to like take a picture of the tag and ask the sales associate for the items because I had to like get them from out the back, and then I was like, oh, it's gonna be like really annoying. I probably should have tried stuff on, but I chickened out. Also, again, the exchange rate is crazy right now.
To be honest, I haven't had amazing luck, but I've enjoyed browsing. It's just how it is sometimes. Also, the exchange rate is kind of crazy right now. So some stuff is just like slightly less affordable or like less in my budget than it might be another time. I don't know.
And then my last stop for the evening was Glossier because I am a millennial Gen Z cusp girly. And I don't know, I've been following like the brand for a really long time and they've only just started shipping to Australia. And I actually had a really great experience here. It was like lovely. Low-key very much lived up to the hype.
Hello everyone. Oh, makeup kinda today. Alrighty, so it is a couple days later. That was like a big shopping sesh and I am going shopping again today. We are leaving tomorrow night. So this is like our last kind of chance to go get things. But I did like some research and I kind of found some things that I think I want to try and pick up. So potentially, at least for a viewing experience, might be a little bit more satisfying. But like I said the other day, you know, if I don't find something that I like or I'm not feeling that connection, I'm not just gonna buy it because it's there. Anyway, talking about things I did get. I went to Aritzia. The bag looks like I really went crazy, but I didn't. I bought one thing, which you would have seen in the footage. I bought the short sleeve, like white square neck top, which I know is super exciting and fun of me. But to be honest, like I do just like Aritzia for their basics, really. This top I'm wearing is actually from Aritzia as well, but it's like from ages ago when I got it. But I got this top here with a little square neck. It's like cotton with a little bit of stretch in it, which I like in terms of it kind of like making nice little silhouettes. I thought it'd be cute to tuck into jeans or skirts. A roof on a white t-shirt. It's not that exciting. When I was trying it on, I could like imagine it in my wardrobe and like what pieces I would pair it with, and that's what you want. On a separate note, can I just say, I've seen people talking about this, but the Aritzia customer experience is like so weird. Because I've seen people talking about like how Aritzia is weird because like you go into the dressing rooms and they don't have mirrors, which like forces you to come out like to look in the mirror, which is a little odd. I understand why they do it from like a sales perspective, but I wasn't prepared for like, I don't know. I tried on some things which I really was like not into. I don't know if I filmed everything I tried on because I tried on quite a few things. But there are a couple of things that I tried on and I was like, this is not like it. Like, you know, not awful or anything, but just clearly not giving what the piece was meant to give. Like the cut of the piece just didn't, I just didn't really like it on myself. You know, that kind of thing. We've all had that experience shopping. But then the assistants would come up to me and be like, oh my God, that is so cute. And I'd be like, oh, like, thank you so much, but like, I'm not really feeling the cut. And they were like, why not? And I was like, because I don't think it's like, I don't like the way it's like fitting. I think it's meant to be a little bit more draped at the top, and so it doesn't look quite right. And they were like, I don't think so. I think that's right. And I was like, Okay. It's really, I don't know how to, I'm not used to it. I'm just not used to it. I've not experienced this shopping in Australia. But they, like, I was walking around with the stuff in my arms to like take to the change room, and then they were like, oh, like, do you want me to get you a room started? And she's like, what size pant are you? Because I had mainly got like tops and a dress. And she's like, let me get some pants to go with these. And I was like, oh, because like I don't really like pants shopping unless I'm in the mood for it, you know what I mean? And I was like, I'm good on pants for the moment. And I was like, oh, it's okay. And she was like, no, tell me, like, let's do this, girl. And I was like, huh? So when I like went to the change room, she had like a pair of like low rise like jeans for me, and like honestly they were kind of a good pick. I knew that probably the likelihood of her picking out pants, like tailored pants for me that would fit, would be quite low. And neither of the pairs that she got like worked for me really at all. But when she came back to check on me and I'd already tried the pants on, I was saying to her like, oh, like, thank you for picking the pants out, but they didn't work. And she was like, oh, like, are you sure? Like, why not? And I was like, oh, because they like didn't fit. And she was like, let's get like another size then. And I was like, oh no, like they're too tight on the hip, but like they're really loose and gapping on the waist. She was like, so let's go a size down. And I was like, I don't think they'll fit if we go a size down. I just think that, and she was like, I think we can make it work. And I was like, what do you, it was just a really interesting vibe where they would be like trying to do an upsell or like trying to like encourage me and be positive. But I was like, oh, like, thank you so much, but like, no, thank you. And they were like, we disagree. But I think the weirdest part was at the end, you know, I was like kind of done trying everything on, but I had seen this one top in the store and I heard they were like going out and getting other sizes from people like from out the back and stuff. So I asked one of the assistants, I was like, I described the top and I was like, can I try that on like in a size small? And she was like, yeah, of course. And then they came back and they were like, oh, we only had it in extra small, sorry. And I was like, oh, that's okay. So I like tried it on anyway because I had like a bit of stretch in it, and like, I was like, why not? I just wanted to see what the top was kind of like. And I tried it on and it was like too small, okay? The honkers were popping out. It just was cutting in, it wasn't right. And then I like walked out in front of the mirror, because you have to go out and walk in front of the mirror, and the girly pop was like, oh my god, that looks so good. And I was like, oh, it's an extra, like, I think it's too small, like it's really cutting in. She was like, but it doesn't look bad though, like I think that you can kind of make it work. And I was like, I can't like move my arms. So I just got the one top that I wanted. But yeah, I just thought that was funny because I'd always heard about like the aritzia customer experience, and I was like, yeah, you guys are right, that is a bit weird. And then the other place I went to was Glossier. They only started shipping to Australia like 2 months ago, but I still wanted to go because it's nice to try and see things in person, especially colors of product. So I went to the like Soho location. I think they have one in Brooklyn as well. But the person who helped me, and I'm gonna give them a shout out because they were so amazing, Nick from Glossier was like the sweetest person ever. Answered a lot of my questions because the way they do it, I feel weird for explaining like the way these stores work. They're just like slightly different store experiences than your normal like pick the thing up, try it on yourself, like go to the counter and pay for it. But Glossier, this is like their flagship store. So the entire thing was like, they had everything out to test and try, but then if you wanted to buy something, you would go to like a staff member and you put it in together like on an iPad. And then you'd like pick it up from like a little window where they like pack it all up for you. It's really cute, and the store is really beautiful as you saw in the footage. So I looked at some things myself and I like kind of knew I wanted to pick up a couple of things, but then I was chatting to Nick, the store assistant, and they were so helpful and they were just like really sweet. We had like a really good rapport. It was like coming off the back of like Aritzia where I was like, you're being so nice to me, but like also you're lying. Where they were being like really helpful. Like I was, you know, asking questions like, you know, can I use this product for XYZ, or like, what do you think about this color choice and things like that. And they were really helpful. And we just had like a good chat. I don't know, it was like really fun. And we put the whole order through, and then they packed it up for me and they wrote me like a little note, which was super duper sweet. I don't know, I was like really touched. I just thought it was really, really kind. So in terms of things I picked up, I'm actually wearing one of them today. I picked up the Cloud Paint in the shade Wisp, and I got that one in like a value bundle with the mascara, the Lash Slick, which I've used before in the black shade, but they have a brown shade as well. So I picked that up. I really like their mascaras. I think they work really well. I also picked up a boy brow because it was like included in the bundle. It's actually not for me, it's for my mum, because she's been trying to like, she's been testing out different like brow products like with a little tint in it. So I thought she would like this one because I've used the clear one and I really liked it. So I got her the tinted one. And then I got the Milky Jelly Cleanser cleanser, which I have used before and I really, really like it. And the priming moisturizer, which I actually have started using because I am running out of my other moisturizer. I have only tried it like a couple of times, so I can't give you like an in-depth review, but so far I really, really like it. I think it's a nice little moisturizer. And I love the tube packaging, so good. And then the last thing I got was the Glossier concealer because I wanted it for kind of like that no makeup sort of vibe. So that's what I got in the cute little baby pink pouch. Thank you, Nick from Glossier. You were very sweet and had a really good time. But now I am going to put on some warmer clothes than this little t-shirt I'm wearing, and I'm going to skedaddle and kind of do some of the last bit of shopping before we leave. Alrighty, let's skedaddle.
Now you're going to see Bergdorf Goodman and you're going to be thinking, Lucy, oh my god, what are we doing there? But I did just go there to piss. Also, can I say, surprisingly poorly maintained bathrooms. Not good. Honestly, I was just kind of frolicking around Midtown. We were there for 10 days in total, and this was like our last day. We didn't really have any major plans. Actually, no, that's not true. I did have a mission of things to buy, but it was underwear. Because I saw someone on Reddit say that there was like a really good pair of underwear that you could buy, but you couldn't get it in Australia, you could only get it in the States. So I spent some time doing that, but I thought it would be not best to film that. Full dedicated review incoming. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little like New York shopping thrifting vlog. Not pictured was all the time I spent in places like Walmart, Target, and Trader Joe's. And also all of the time that we mainly spent at museums and doing like touristy sightseeing things and eating and taking the subway and walking and taking the subway. Ooh, and we saw some Broadway shows and I ate a bunch of bagels. I shared some of that over on Instagram. But yeah, I'm happy to be home and I can't wait to bring you some little munch crunch content soon. As always, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!